video, I'm going to be answering all of your fashion design and fashion school related questions. I did ask you guys a couple of weeks ago to sort of ask me questions that you're curious about, and thank you so much for asking them, especially on YouTube. So I'm going to be answering a few questions on here. If you want to find out what they are, keep watching. If this is your first time watching any of my videos, thank you so much for joining us in this one. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. The button is down below and you will get notified every single week whenever I have new videos up. So without further ado, let's jump straight into this video. So the first question is from, I'm really sorry, I'm so terrible with names, but I will try my best to pronounce it correctly. It is from Kakunzu Ruke. Sounds like a name from my country actually. But the question says, it starts out this way. Sorry for annoying or asking too many questions. I'm 14 years old in KSA, which I believe is the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I really want to, where do you go? I really want to do fashion designing, but I do not know the subject that I need to study in school in order to get accepted by a fashion college or university. Can I do online courses of the subject that I need to study if they aren't taught or provided at my school? If that is possible, then can I do that till 12th grade? That is college, I think that's what she meant, and then get accepted by a uni. So I am going to speak from my experience. I studied in Nigeria. My high school and my university I did in Nigeria before coming here. And back there I had a science background, so I didn't really have any like art related courses while I was in high school. In junior high we had to do a bunch of courses, but in senior high we had to sort of narrow down our choices to what we wanted to do in university. And because then I wanted to become a medical doctor, I studied biology, chemistry, physics, like those really nerdy science courses, but I ended up not using any of them because while I went into uni to study microbiology and I finished, when I came here to study fashion, they kind of didn't matter because the college just wanted to know that I had a certain level of education before they accepted me. So one additional thing I did do before coming here was I did a sort of mini, it wasn't a course, it was like a workshop. I don't really know what to call it, but it was for like 3 months. And I think that sort of prepared me in the sense for what I was coming here for. So I would say if you are sure that fashion is something you want to do, there are art related courses that are taught at high school. I really don't know a lot about the subject here because I didn't study here, but if you search online or ask your school, if you speak to your school counselor, I'm sure they would tell you what kind of courses you need to study. And a lot of things are available online. There are a lot of materials, a lot of courses online. Like the internet is like a broad field of knowledge, and if you're really serious about studying fashion design, I guess if you do your research you would find answers that you need. So I am speaking from my experience. I didn't need to study any art related courses in high school because I didn't know I wanted to do fashion back then. But before I came here to study fashion, because I do have a diploma and then I have a BA, which is bachelor's in art, I did do like a short course before coming here. However, when I was coming, my school did want to see proof that at least I knew a little about fashion. They did ask to see some drawings, some of my previous work, and thankfully before I came here I started making clothes. I started doing like very crude illustrations, so they saw, okay, she at least has an idea of what fashion is about. Because I came here for the foundation diploma, which is like the very basic diploma for fashion design, before I went on to do a fashion degree in women's wear. Is it women's wear? What am I saying? Before I went to do a fashion and design degree. So I hope I answered your question. I will try and leave links down below to more specific answers that would be useful to you. So this is from Yang Chen Dolke, and this person asks, Dear Kim Dave, I also want to join in fashion school. I love fashion and want to be a good fashion designer. I have no idea about sewing. This is the first time that I want to join from starting a course. Can you give me some information about it? And this person leaves your email address and wants me to write to them. But well, I'm doing a video now and I hope you get to watch this. You want to become a fashion designer and you have the passion to, and you're willing to study for it. I don't know what educational level you are at. I don't know if you are in high school. I don't know if you're at college yet, but I say studying really helps. It's a different ballgame when you have to work in the industry, but studying helps because it sort of teaches you the theories, the practical aspects, and the very basics of what you would need when you get a job as a designer or a pattern cutter or an illustrator, and so on and so forth. So I say I would try and actually write this person, because if you want to learn how to sew, there are sewing classes. If you want to learn how to make pattern, there are pattern courses. If you want to be a fashion designer, then you have to get into fashion school. There are popular designers that are known to be self-taught. They didn't have to go to school to become fashion designers, but I believe, from my experience, school helped me a lot. It really opened my eyes to how real fashion is. Real in the sense that it is a lot of hard work. It is really competitive, and if you aren't passionate enough about it, you would really give up through the way. So that's something that you won't experience if you're self-taught, because you would have no one around you to compare yourself with. Not compare in a negative way, but to see, oh, this is what my competition is, and this is who I would be designing besides when I get out of school. This person's going to have a job there and I'm going to be trying to get a job. So you kind of gauge out your competition and you see what your mates are doing, and you know, oh right, I need to up my game, or I need to improve on this, or I need to improve on that. So I say studying helps, reading helps, practicing helps. Get yourself a sewing machine, make a bunch of clothes for yourself, because sewing is an acquired skill, and the more you sew, the better you get. It's like driving. You need to practice to get better at it. The next question is from Sandra Jackson, and this was under my DIY palazzo video, and she said, love the palazzo pants, you pre-treat fabrics, thanks for sharing. So by this, there are fabrics that I get that I have to wash to see if they bleeding in the sense that if they lose color, because I like to work a lot with prints, and not all prints are made properly. So if I'm making it for a client, I want to know that if this person takes this garment home and they wash it, they won't be disappointed in the quality of the fabric. So when I do get fabrics, I cut like a small square, I wash it, I see if it shrinks, I see how it behaves to heat, and sew it under the machine to see if it needs high or low tension. So I do some testing now and again, not all the time. If I'm doing it for myself, I really don't mind, I just walk straight away with the fabric. But if I'm doing it for a client, I'm kind of careful to know that, okay, the quality of the fabric is at least good enough for someone. The next question is from Utebe Ayi. I really hope I said your name right. I love your video. I would love to know if you learned how to sketch, cut, and sew in fashion school. So I did have an idea of how to sew, of how to cut, and how to sketch before I got into fashion school. But I say going into fashion school really refined my craft, because my class was a really small group. So my tutors were, they had enough time to kind of coach each and every one of us in areas that we needed help with. I was really terrible at drawing. I don't even think I'm that great at drawing still, like by hand. And my tutors would always go, oh my god, you really need to improve on your drawing. It's like, and when I would see some of my mates were really amazing at drawing, and I would always feel so small when it came to illustration. And it was actually one of the weakest courses I had at uni. So I say going to fashion school helps to refine and improve my sewing, my cutting, and my sketching. So I know all three of these got better over the years. They didn't just improve overnight. Next question is from Sandra's Vlog. Sandra's Vlog. Hi Sandra. And this person asked, what app do you use to edit your videos? I use Adobe Premiere Pro. I used to use it in combination with After Effects, but After Effects is just... my knowledge has not gotten to that level yet. It's just too complicated for me, so I just stick to Premiere Pro, and that's what I use to edit my videos. So the next question is from Judith Oboro. Oh my god, this girl asks, she's always... shout out. She's always showing me so much love. Thank you so much, Judith. And she asked, congratulations on... oh, she said, sorry, congratulations on your engagement. Will you make your wedding dress when you eventually decide the wedding date? So for those of you that don't know, I got engaged earlier this year, and
I'm engaged to my best friend, and I love this guy so much. That just sounded super cheesy, but anyways.
So will I be making my wedding dress? Yes and no. So I plan on having two dresses, one for the main going to the church, and the second one for the reception. So I really want to make both dresses, but I know how Nigerian weddings are. If you are Nigerian, you understand what I mean. You're always so over the top, extravagant, and I know planning it to be so stressful. We've already started planning. We've kind of decided on not the exact dates, but the time of the year we wanted, how many people we want to attend, and we'll be having one here in London and another back in Nigeria. But would I be making the wedding dress? I guess you just have to stick around to find out. I do have a design in mind for the main white wedding dress. The reception one I'm definitely making, because that one will just be like a simple evening gown, fitted, maybe like bado or v-neck. I really don't know, but I think I might. If it becomes too stressful for me to handle, I think I would either pay someone to make it for me or buy one. The next question is from Sophia Mam, that's M-A-M-B, and she asked, hey, I love your vids. I was wondering what you plan on doing after uni and in what country. I have a feeling like I've answered this question in my previous Q&A, but I'm just gonna answer it again because yeah, my plans have sort of changed. So at the moment I am interning at a women's wear studio, and it's full-time, so it's consuming a lot of my time, but at the same time I'm learning so much. Like, guys, fashion school is so different from actually working in fashion. Like, when you get a job working in an actual real studio, having deadlines to meet, having a really high standard to keep up to, it is so much more intense than fashion school. Fashion school has its own like hard times, but actually working for someone in the industry is a different ball game. So I'm doing that right now, and I plan on doing it for a while because I still have so much to learn. I really don't know a lot. Like, I have so much to learn, especially when it comes to design, pattern cutting, the business side of fashion. I have so much I still need to learn, and I think internships are the perfect way to learn more about fashion, because you are involved in how the day-to-day task of the studio runs. You see how things actually go down, you see the good, you see the bad, you see the ugly, and that first-hand experience beats absolutely nothing. So at the moment I'm doing it in London, but if I have to go back home to Nigeria to continue working, I actually don't mind, because the Nigerian fashion industry is actually picking up, and I've seen some really amazing designers, and I would not actually mind going back home to work, because there is, like, I just see the market there waiting, and there is room for me if I want. So you never know. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm open to whatever changes that come along. I believe those are all the questions. Thank you so much for sending them in. Some of the questions were a bit more technical, and I would be answering them in my Request Wednesday videos. Some people asked me to make specific garments, and I have sort of saved those for the future. And don't worry, just stick around to see if I answer your request question. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys learned something. If you have any more questions, please ask them down below. I am open to answer all of them. As long as I know, I will do my research and get back to you guys. Thank you so much for watching once again, and until my next video, have a beautiful morning, afternoon, and evening wherever you are. Bye.